time you're doing this with me. I never claim to be perfect or get all the technology right, but I do claim to be able to give you some good ideas, hopefully, and help you grow your business through booking parties and recruiting. And tonight we're really going to focus on booking parties. And we are recording our call, so, but still don't be afraid to share and ask and talk. This is an interactive. So, you know, tonight we're going to talk about booking parties at parties. And I know sometimes that kind of freaks people out because they think, well, I don't have any parties. And I want you to know that you always have a party, because if you're out of parties, you have yourself. And that is a great thing to know, is that you can always book a party with yourself and have that there to help you get your business going. The beautiful thing about booking a party with yourself, let's say today, what's today, Thursday? You can decide you want to have a party Saturday afternoon or Sunday or Monday night and get on the phone and call your friends and say, hey, what are you doing Saturday at 2 o'clock? Or what are you doing Sunday night at 7? Everyone knows what they're doing in the next day or two, actually better than they know what they're doing in the next 2 weeks. So booking parties in close are actually a really, really good benefit. So I want to really encourage you to keep that in mind. I've got a little bit of you with background noise. You know you have background noise. If you can just hit the mute, that would be great. So that, and then you can come off as needed. So we're going to be talking about that. So if you don't have a party, book a party. I've been doing this for many years, 25 to be exact, and there's still people that I have not gotten to a party for one reason or another. So don't be afraid to book them often and let people know what you're doing. So once you are starting your party, one of the first things that you want to do, and we're going to do some activities, so I'm really going to encourage you to have pencil and paper so you can participate. For those of you that were on last night, it'll be not necessarily the same activities, but we will be doing some activities. So what we'll be doing here is talking about your power statement. And I briefly touched on the power statement last night. Your power statement for most people is how you're going to start your party. It's going to be a strong, a confident statement. It's how you introduce yourself, your business, and you set the stage for a successful event. Through this statement, you want to really create an interest and excitement for what's about to come. So you are kind of giving the preview before the movie is kind of what you're doing in your power statement. So last night I shared a power statement with some of you, and I'll just try to come up with another one real quick to give you some different ideas of what a power statement might look like. Your power statement might be something like, so if I was at a party, very naturally, I'm going to do this off the top of my head so that I can, you know, kind of give you guys what, you know, kind of how I would do this. So I would start my parties with, hi, my name is Lori, and I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I especially want to thank Diane for inviting me into her home. It's the biggest compliment anyone can pay me, is to invite me in to share what they experienced at another party, because they had so much fun and they want to do it all over again, and they don't want to keep it from any of their friends. And tonight, I am hoping that every single one of you feel the exact same way. We're going to have fun learning about chocolate, all the ways that it can be used, many ways that you may have never, ever imagined, like hearing about a mole or a vinaigrette, or who would have ever thought you'd put chocolate in a barbecue sauce. But you're going to hear all kinds of great things. You're going to hear about healthy ways. But better than hearing about it, you're going to be tasting it. And in fact, one of the first things we're going to do in just a minute is start you off with one of my favorites, and that's our chocolate martini. You're also going to get to see how much fun my job is. In fact, how many of you get up every morning and go, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go to work. It's so much fun. Well, I want you to watch me tonight, because I tell you what, I get to get up every morning and say that, and I'd love for you to be able to say the same. So what I want you to do is sit back, relax, enjoy, and promise me that you'll have fun. And be thinking about how soon you want to get your friends together to do this, or even better, how soon you want to treat them to it. And join us at Dove Chocolate Discoveries for the best that you can be. So that would be a little bit of what my power statement would look like. So the power statement, I've introduced myself. I thanked the host. I've told them what to expect, that we're going to have fun. They're going to hear about lots of great things. Better than that, they're going to taste great things. They're going to hear about how much fun it is to have a party and what they can get. And I want them to be thinking about it, as well as looking at the business opportunity. And so many of you are going to do your power statements differently. Here's one that came in our Promote with Passion binder. And I am watching my time because I've timed this class completely out so that we don't run out of time tonight. Hi, my name is Lori, and I'm going to be your personal chocolatier this evening. Quick show of hands, how many of you have ever been to a Dove Chocolate Discoveries tasting party? Well, for those of you that haven't, great, you're in for a treat this evening, and for those of you that have, you're in for a repeat treat. I'm going to show you how to use our amazing products to create fabulous meals and snacks and appetizers for your family. And ladies and gentlemen, you are literally going to go home tonight feeling completely indulged. So we're going to do this with some of the best products on the market today. You're going to fall in love with so many of them, but your biggest dilemma at the end is, what do I get and what do I get for free at my own party? So when you find yourself in this situation, just be thinking about how soon you want it free, or if even better, how soon you might like to start your own career with Dove Chocolate and get all of your product at a minimum of a 25% discount up to a 43%, and how you can continually earn free products. But better than that, you can indulge others in chocolate and bring a smile to people's face every time you see them. So let's get started. So that's another example. So what I want to do right now is I want to take about 2 to 3 minutes. And I know that you won't get completely done, but I want each of you to take 2 to 3 minutes, and I want you to start writing down your power statement. And then I'm going to have a couple of you, I'm going to ask for volunteers. I promise, unless nobody says anything, I might have to call on you. But I'm going to ask for volunteers and have just a couple of you share your power statement. And one thing that I want to teach you right now is that the people that participate the most will learn the most. So don't be afraid. You can. This is a very safe place. If you say something that's totally off the wall, it may give us all a good laugh, and we need it. Or we'll help you find maybe a little bit better word choice. But chances are you really can't mess this up. So, but don't worry, okay? This is fun. So take a minute. I'm going to put my timer on and give you guys just a moment to work on your power statement. So about another minute. About 20 seconds. If you don't finish it, it's fine. Okay, so who wants to learn the most and be brave enough to share their power statement, or maybe even ask for help with their power statement? Remember, this is a safe environment. Somebody's talking. I can hear something, but I don't know who it is. Do we not have any brave ones? Okay, who's that?
Kathy.
Where's Kathy? Okay, go ahead, Kathy.
Hi, I'm Kathy, and I'm your personal chocolatier for tonight. I want to thank Lori for inviting me into her home and for me to share the wonderful Dove products with all of you. I say we have salsa to nuts because we do not have soup. If you can put cocoa in it, Dove Chocolate Discoveries can find a way to make it delicious. How many of you are familiar? The end.
That's a great start. I love your question. How many? Putting a question in there is a great thing to do, Kathy, because that pulls your audience in. So if they started to drift away, now you're asking a question and you're reeling them right back in. That's great. And I love your salsa to nuts without the soup. A little humor always makes it more fun, right? We're a party. That's great. Who else wants to share or give it a try?
I'll give it a shot. This is Diane.
Okay, go ahead, Diane.
Okay. Hi, I'm Diane Wasney, and this is Dove Chocolate Discoveries. Tonight we're going to have a fun time learning about and tasting chocolate, Dove chocolate. How many of you have been to a chocolate tasting party before besides our hostess? Oh, good, good. I know a lot of people have not heard about us, so we are definitely trying to get the word out. And I'd also like to let you know that I work full-time as well as being a chocolatier, and this is definitely my fun job. So if you think this might be something that you would like to do, just kind of watch what I do and see if it's a good fit for you.
Awesome, and I loved your statement. We're going to have fun tonight. You know, if you tell people they're going to have fun, they're much more likely to have fun. They're not thinking, oh, no, I've got to sit with my hands crossed and be, you know, all like sweet and demure, because most of y'all know I couldn't fit in that category. But I can maybe be sweet, but not demure. So that's great, Diane. I love that. So just beef it up just a little more. Beef it up. You've got a lot more to share than that. I know you do. So
yeah, I do. Once you get going.
Great start. You did the same thing. Another great start. We have time for one or two more. Who wants? Anybody else want to give it a shot?
I'll do it.
Okay, who's this?
This is Karen.
Karen, and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Maryland.
And what's your last name? Because I can't see you.
I'm sorry, Brooks.
Okay, hey Karen, great. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, my name is Karen Brooks, and I will be your Dove chocolatier tonight. I would like to thank so-and-so for having me here, and here's a small thank you gift for inviting me to your home. We will be having fun tonight learning about some unique Dove products and taste testing. Has anyone been to a Dove party before?
Is that as far as you got?
That's as far as I got, yes.
Excellent. So here she added a new dimension. She's going to give a gift. I love that because people look and go, hey, I want that gift, you know? And that's a great place, is to make her appear special in the eyes of everyone there. Way to go, Karen. Great start to yours as well. Let's have one more if anybody will be willing to do it.
I will. This is Janet.
Okay, go ahead, Janet. Janet, what's your last name?
Kleinbach.
Well, welcome, Janet. Where are you calling from?
I'm from Missouri.
Well, welcome to the call.
Thank you. Okay. Hi, my name is Janet Kleinbach. I'm an independent chocolatier with Dove Chocolate Discoveries, and I'd like to take a minute to thank Laurie for having me into her home this evening, and also for each of you for coming out tonight. How many of you have heard of Dove Chocolate Discoveries or been to a tasting party? Great, not many of you. That's awesome. And this is new for everyone. So hopefully you'll taste some sweet treats tonight that you will want to take home and enjoy with your family and friends. We are going to have some fun enjoying delicious chocolate treats, perhaps in ways you've never experienced before.
I love it. Again, there were some questions in there. We stated we're going to have fun. Don't you guys believe if you're told you're going to have fun, you're more likely to put a, when you're sitting there, again, remember we tried last night trying to say, I like chocolate without a smile on our face? When someone says you're going to have fun, it's hard not to smile back, and it's hard for you not to have a smile. Again, try to say the word fun without a smile. Try it. Everybody's got to try it. Fun. See, a smile comes out. It happens every time. So that's a great way to start your party. Now, once you've started your party, the second step, and I'm watching my watch because those of you that know me know I love to be prompt. So we set an hour, I keep it to an hour. You can trust me. The second part is booking bids. Now, booking bids come across in many ways. Booking bids can be open-ended questions, things like, Amy, if you were to have a party, which products would you like to share with your friends? Or, Susan, if you were to have a party with Sally, when would be the best time for you to do it? Or, Diane, when your friends get together, do you guys like to get together in the evening or on the weekend? Or, oh my gosh, Lisa, I know that when you have your party, your friends are going to love those martinis as much as you do. Now, none of these people have said they're going to, but what you're doing is you're creating a positive in their head. So what I want to do right now is I want to continue with this interactive and keep you thinking. So let's just say we've talked about, I'm going to do a little brief demo for you. Give you a few demo tips that a lot of people don't realize. One of the biggest mistakes, I'm going to call it a mistake because I really believe it is I see happen at a lot of parties that I go to, is people pass out the product and then talk about it. If you're honest, probably if you've been in very long, you may have done that before. You pass out the product, then you talk about it. But I want you to think about, I want you to put yourself in a different type of selling situation. If you were to go into a car showroom, and there's this beautiful little red 450 SL Mercedes. Do y'all know what my dream car is now? And sitting on that car lot, if you in the showroom, if you walked in, would they say, and you said, hi, I'm Laura, and they go, oh, here's the keys, go drive this, come back and tell us what you think, and then we'll tell you about the car. No, they're going to sell you on all the things you're going to experience before you ever get into the car, right? Lori, when you get in here, that leather is going to feel so great. It's got the Bose surround sound, and as you hit the road, it's going to feel like you're floating on air, but you're going to hit 60 in 10 seconds, or I don't know about cars. I'm making stuff up, y'all. But then you're going to say, after my face is like, oh my gosh, I've got to drive this. I can't wait to get into it. Then they're going to say, why don't you go for a ride? So when you're thinking about your parties, you want, and everything that you do, you want to have a build-up. You want to have a build-up, just like your power statement is a build-up to the beginning of your party. The next thing that you want to do is you want to have a build-up to your product tasting, whether you're tasting a brownie truffle pizza, whether you're tasting the chicken chipotle tacos, or whether you're just tasting a ready-to-eat like the cinnamon dusted almonds. And since I know everyone on here should be familiar with the cinnamon dusted almonds since they come in your kit, let me just tell you how that might happen. So you've done your power statement. The next step, of course, would be to meet your guests. I'm into easy. My opening activity is the same at every single party. When they walk in the door, there's stick-on name badges. There's the 5 recruiting cards that say simple time, fun, money, and support. I have them write their name and which one of those words resonate with them the most. I'll tell you why later, but I never tell them. Write that down. I'll tell you, but I'll never tell them. And then I ask them to tell me their name, how they know our host, and what would they do at an extra $500 to $1,500 at the end of every month. And I say, you know what? Chocolate brings out the child in everyone. So let's use our imagination just like children and pretend our bank is full of money, $500 to $1,500. What would you do with it every single month? Would you travel? Would you buy more shoes? Would you have that Louis Vuitton? Would you drive that 450 SL? Would you just pay bills or get out of debt? Would you pay off a student loan? What would you do? The reason I do that opening activity, number one, is the reason I have them put that word on their name badge is throughout the party. I'm going to use this as a recruiting or a booking bid. If I know I see fun under their name when I talk about how much fun parties are, I'm going to look and go, Jen, that's fun, isn't it? Doesn't that sound like fun? I'm not going to say because you have it on your name badge. And guess what? She's going to forget she put it there. When I'm talking about the business and I see that Laura has support and I'm talking about all the friends that I've met and support that I get, I'd say, Laura, in your job, you get that kind of support, or if you had another one, would you like to have that kind of support? Laura's going to forget she has support written under there, but I'm talking her language. And so it's really appealing to her. And if I'm speaking her language, she's going to want to book a party with me or sell with me. Then I'm asked them, how do they know the host? The reason I want to know that is a big booking reason. So I'm just going to say, so for example, Barb says she knows the host from work. Becky says she knows the host from soccer. Rebecca says she knows the host from church. Jen says she's her next door neighbor. Amy says she's a relative. Diane said they went to high school together. I now know of 6 completely different channels of people I want to book parties with. I want to have one with the girls from that they all went to high school together, or the guys. I want to have one with the coworkers, the soccer team, the church, the neighbors. They can't say all their friends are here because they're all from different groups. So those are my booking chains. Really good information to have. And then of course, probably the obvious, why do I want to know what would they do with $500 to $1,500 a month? That's their go button. Okay, now let me tell you something really funny. I will meet people that are literally on welfare, unemployment, food stamps, whatever. And when I ask them what would they do with $500 to $1,500, most of us would assume they would say, pay bills, get a house, get off food stamps, whatever. I can't tell you, because I tell them to use their imagination, how many of them would say, take a cruise. They might say, buy a Louis Vuitton. They might, things that you wouldn't imagine. And what it is because paying their bills doesn't motivate them. Maybe that's why they're in the situation they're in. I'm not judging. I'm just saying that could be. I want to know, I don't care if they pay their bills or not, personally. That's not my problem. I want to know what their go button is, right? If they want to cruise without money, that's their problem. That's their, good for them. Let me help you get there. So don't assume because someone's unemployed, don't talk to them about paying their bills. You may never click with them. But also, you might find out the kind of fun they like to have, so you can talk about the type of parties. So that's your opening. So then you're going to talk about product. Uh-oh, I'm getting behind. I got off track, sorry. So then we're going to talk about, then we're going to go into a product. So I'm going to do a simple product for everyone, whether you're brand new or you've been in forever. So I met them and I say, you know what, tonight, the very first thing I want you to try is one of my most favorite products, but that doesn't even matter. Ladies and gentlemen, what I want you to know is you're about to experience, you thought you were at a party, you're about to have a party in your mouth. Has anybody ever had a party in their mouth before? Probably not, unless you've had this product. Because when you put the cinnamon dusted almond, which you're about to taste, and that creamy Dove chocolate hits your tongue, whether it's the dark or the milk, I promise it's going to be creamy, wonderful. Let it just sit there for a moment like it's a fine wine. Then all of a sudden, you're going to get this burst of Saigon cinnamon, the best cinnamon money can buy, and crunch into a wonderful, healthy almond, one of the healthiest nuts/fruits that your body can have. And when all those flavors come together, it's an explosion and a party in your mouth. Who's ready to give this a try? Now, do you think they're going to enjoy that cinnamon dusted almond more that way, or if I say try it and then try to tell them about it?
No, anticipation is a major thing.
Absolutely. And they're already, and then you can tell them as they're trying it, this is great. You can take this and you can crush it, And you can make a cheese ball using our, I use the same measurements as our dip, our cocoa rub barbecue dip, but I put it in cheese. And then and cream cheese, and then I roll it in the cinnamon dusted almonds, and then you have a sweet and savory cheese ball. You can use it to sprinkle on top of coffee, or when you just need that chocolate fix. It's wonderful. I do limit myself to 3 a day because I have no self-control. But you can choose what number works best for you. So do you see how now they're going to start to anticipate, and they're going to want this product even more? Then you're going to suggestive sell. So tonight when you're placing your order, just trust me and don't order a box, because then you're going to have to call me in a few weeks later and order another. Put a minimum of 2 on your order, but if you have any parties or birthdays or holidays coming up, go ahead and add that 3rd box. And by the way, if that's a little out of your price range, no worries. We'll just set a date before you leave, and I'll get those 3 boxes for you free. So do you see how the whole time I'm selling, not really selling the product, I'm selling, I want you to have a party. I want you to, because for every party I book, on average, I'm meeting, I've got 10 new people that I would have never connected with. So anybody, I want to stop for a second and see, does anybody have any questions about the selling process, the introduction process, and the booking bid process, and how that relates to booking parties? Does that mean you're all going to be experts now? You've got it?
I have a question.
Okay.
This is Diane. So when you were talking about greeting the guests at the door and giving them a badge, and the 5 cards, what is the question you asked? Which one of these?
I just said, which one of these resonate with you the most, or which one of these appeal to you the most? And that's all I ever say.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And you'll learn a lot about a person by what they put on that badge.
Yeah. And you just show them the cards.
Yeah, I just have them laying on the table with name badges, and when they come in, I have them come over and write their name and write one of the words. There's 2 schools of thoughts. I don't hand out catalogs till the end. There is not a right or wrong. The reason I don't is because I like their hands completely free. I feel like the eating process is, you experience it in a better way if your hands are empty. If you're trying to juggle stuff, a book and a pen. But other people like to point things out. So you're going to have to figure out what works best for you. For me, it's empty hands. Anybody else have any? Some of our Jen Fitzgerald is one of our top sellers last month. She was number 3 at our PLC in personal volume. And Jen, why don't you share? You got your hand up. You either got a question or a suggestion.
I have both. I want to just mention.
Hold on just a second, Jen. If you're on a computer and a cell phone, if you can put them on mute, that gives us that crazy feedback. Okay, go ahead, Jen.
One thing that I started doing just at this party that I did on Sunday with the name tag thing, I brought a small whiteboard and wrote the 5 things on there.
Okay.
The words, the support, fun, money, time. What was the other one? I don't know. But anyway, I wrote them on there and asked them to pick one off of that board that would mean the most for them. Just so that I didn't have, the cards are kind of small when you're doing a big party with lots of people. And, people will be looking at them, but they're great for one-on-ones with the Cocoa Chats. But I just have one of those whiteboards that's about this big. It's about the size of a clipboard. And I wrote them on there, and they were like, oh, what is this? What is this? So I asked them to write that on their name tag, and that worked really well. But what I wanted to
We're still getting feedback. If someone can go on mute, we're still getting bad feedback. Diane, try yours, because when you came off, I think it, there we go. Let's try it now.
When you were talking about the catalogs, I like to hand out my catalogs when everybody's coming in. And I say, go ahead and start looking. Just don't lick the pages. I need to use them at my next party, that type of thing. But as I go as I pass out, before I pass out the samples, I give my little spiel of what this is going to be. It's going to be so great. Look, if you turn on page 15, it's right there. And there's your order number if you're thinking, and I want you to put this on your wish list of something that you'd like to have. So I get them to fill out their order forms as we go through the catalog. And then at the end, if they really decide not to, they can scratch them off. But a lot of people think, oh, yeah, I really did like that. I'm glad you made me write that down.
I think that's an excellent idea. Like I said, it's a really personal choice. Find out what really suits your personality. That's the beauty of this, is you can really find what suits your personality. Thanks, Jen, for sharing that.
I have a question for you, Jen, if you don't mind. When you're saying page 15 or whatever page it is, are you doing one of the bundles as your party format and then doing ready to eats too, and letting them know that they can get that bundle, or are you just picking some items through and then pointing them to the right page?
Whatever we're sampling at the party that night, I'll tell them, okay, this can be found on page whatever in your books. And then when I go into my stacking the host part of the thing, that's when I bring in the bundles.
Oh,
because
okay.
that's what everybody is looking at. I'm like, well, if you've already got, 3 of these things, if you already picked 3 of these things, you might as well just get a bundle. It's in this bundle here. So that's how I do it. Now, like Lori said, you can do whatever you want to, whatever feels natural to you.
Yeah, well, Lori was telling how fabulous you were doing, so I thought I could take another tip from an expert.
That's very right, Lori. She is an expert at that right now. I'm doing a great job. So, yeah, you're going to find your way. We'll actually have a training on how to do the bundles. There's many different ways. I'm a big bundle seller. In my parties, I only talk about bundles. I don't taste everything in the bundle. I don't create the entire bundle, but I only talk about bundles. So really, they would only need 3 item numbers until they got their catalog. So it truly can be done so many ways, and we'll have that in a training class here in the real near future. The next thing that we have, of course, is our booking fold out. And these should be shipped to all of you. If those of you that aren't familiar, this is a brand new tool. I'm going to stand up so you can see. For those of you that didn't see it the other day, my office is small. It says, this is the side we're going to use. It is recruiting on one side, and it is booking on the other. And this one says, discover all the rewards when you host a tasting party. So I could say, how many of you here like to have a lot of fun? How many of you here like free? How do you like this? Asking questions. How many of you like to get together with your friends? Well, how does all of this sound to you? Look at what all you can get when you host a Dove chocolate party. And this takes them. Now, you don't want to spend too much time on each one because you'll lose them. You're going to want to go through this really quick. You might even go around the room and have each one read something. Say, all right, you guys are the experts. We're going to start right here on my left. Read the top one, and we'll fold them down, and let's see how far we get around the room with all the free stuff that you get. And they can just read. Or you can ask someone to take a look and tell you their favorites. What are the 3 favorite things that you like on this? Is it the free shipping, the VIP box, the half-price bundles? Or is it 10 buying guests, you get another free product? But it's a wonderful, wonderful tool to use. And it has absolutely all the benefits from free products, half-price products, VIP signature box. If there's no way you can get this unless you're a host, and this is actually Miss Mars, the real Miss Mars box that she uses for her top customers. Free shipping. You get monthly host specials that no one else gets. A bonus just for having 10 buying guests. You get a previous host discount to use anytime in the next 3 months. You could use your party to start your own business for free. You get me, which hopefully you think that's fun, as your own personal chocolatier. So let's get your party booked today. So you might go into a little more detail than that, but you don't want to spend too much time because it could get really boring. Think about it. If you want more detail, go around the room and let different voices do it. That'll actually make it less boring, for lack of a better word. And ask people to say, maybe they read the one that says, half-price bundles, and then you could say, which one so far do you think, what products would you like to see in a bundle, or what products would you like to get free, or how would you use that VIP box, or I bet you could get 10 people together. Feed those things back to them so they start to envision themselves doing it. On another call, we'll talk about how to use the backside as a recruiting tool alongside of those cards that Jen and I were both just talking about. Another great thing for booking. Now, what I would do is, I would do this first, and then I would share all the benefits. And then I play a little game. And the game that I like to play is Take a Chance. And what I do is I just have a tray or a bag, it doesn't matter what you have, and I put Dove promises in it. And on the back of the promise is either a G for gift or P for party. Okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, you are there to book parties, not give away free gifts. So you're not trying to be fair. You're trying to book parties, okay? It's just like when you buy a lottery ticket. When you buy it, you know there are bigger odds that you're not going to win than there is you are going to win, right? And you don't get mad at the person selling it, you know. Same things when you play a game like this. There's a bigger chance that you're going to get, but it's how you frame it. So what I say, this is how I do it. So let's say I have a gift bag, or actually I like a tray, and I turn all my Dove promises right side up, and I have a D or a G written on the bottom of them. Now let's say I have 20. I'm probably going to have 16 say P for party and 4 say G for gift. That's going to be my odds. And that's probably better than I normally do. But I'll be nice to those of you that get uncomfortable. But I'm there to book parties. So on my tray, I have them on there. And you can do all different flavors. You can do anything you want. And since they're so inexpensive, I just let them keep it for playing. So I say, how many of you here have ever, we're going to have a little fun now that you see what all the hosts get. And I'm going to have a chance for you to not only get everything you see here, but an extra prize. So how many of you have ever taken a chance? You bought a lottery ticket, you've married a mini-way, you've taken a 5-year flex instead of a 30-year fixed, whatever. Everybody's taken some kind of chance, right? Well, here's the great thing about my game is every single person that plays is a winner. So either if you play, you're going to win a gift from me, and I normally have just some little gift bags sitting out, or you're going to win the grand prize, which is a party where you get, and I'd probably, me and my dramatics, I'd probably throw this back out again and be able to get everything you see here as a grand prize. So what we're going to do is I'm going to come around and I'm going to ask each of you to take a promise, and remember, it's a promise, off my tray, but don't turn it over. Just put it in your hand, but you got to promise you won't turn it over. So I walk around and I let them take a promise off my tray. And then I say, now I'm going to come back to you, and you're going to say, I'm going to say, do you want to make a promise? And that promise is you'll do whatever's on the back. If you get a gift, you have to take a gift. If you get a P, you get to book the grand prize party, and we'll set that before you leave tonight. So remember, you're making a promise to book a party if you get a P, or take a gift if you get a G. So then I'd walk up to Kathy, and I'd go, Kathy, because remember they got name badges on. You want to take a chance? She'd say yes or no. Let me tell you, you give them it to them first. It's hard for them to let it go. If you walk up and they're empty-handed and just say, do you want to take a chance, and then they choose, it's easier to say no. Because they say possession is 9/10 of the law. It's also 9/10 of the sale. Then I'd say, Darcy, do you want to take a chance? Donna, do you want to take a chance? Barb, do you? And I go all the way around the room and ask them one-on-one. And I'd say, okay, now everybody knows, everybody that gets a G just gets a little gift, but everybody gets P gets a grand prize party, and we're going to set your date before you go, and I have my available dates on the next 4 weeks right here. We're all in agreement, right? And then I start first one, turn it over. What'd you win? Yay, a party! Woo! The best price ever. You want to? And I usually have little Post-it notes out with my dates on it. If you want to pick your party first, you can before anyone gets your date. Oh wow, you get a G. It's still a great prize, but go ahead and pick one. And I go around, and that's a fun way. Now I know some of you already have a couple of questions on that. What if they don't book? Well, if they can sleep at night and being a big fat liar, then I can sleep at night too. That's the only thing I know to say. Because it was a Dove promise, okay? It was nothing else. Don't lose sleep over it. You weren't giving away $100 bills with P or G. You gave it. Amy liked that one, didn't you, Amy? They are. I would say if they can lie and sleep at night, then I don't want to have a party with them. They're big fat liars. Who knows what else they'll lie about? So don't sweat it. You know, just don't sweat it. But if you set the expectations really clear, was there any confusion as to what was going to happen based on what I just shared with you guys?
No.
So you're going to have some people get a party and not book. And you could go, oh, come on, now don't be a big fat liar in front of everybody. And depending on the group, I might say that. Depending on some other groups, I would never, ever say that. It would just depend on kind of the crowd. And even get their friends in. Did you know she said she's booking a party and she hadn't set her date? Come on, tell her you'll come. Tell her you'll come. You can have fun with this. But remember, it's a Dove promise. Don't lose any sleep over it. Please don't lose any sleep. All right? So that's a great thing to do. And then if they get a gift, you still ask them to book at the end in your full service checkout. Because if they played, that means they were willing to book a party. Now, that's just one. We could spend a whole night sharing booking games, but I only have 15 minutes left, so we'd run out of time. So that is just one of the ideas, and we'll make sure we continue to share them. Does anybody have any questions before we go to the next segment? Is anybody's head spinning because I talk too fast and give too much information? Okay. All right. So next thing we're going to talk about is my favorite thing. So we learn a lot about them, whether they'll play, how they react, what we learn in the opening activity, how they respond to the booking bids. But there's still some people that are really hard to read or just don't share quite as openly. So I use a drawing slip. Now there's a drawing slip on the connection. Quite honestly, I don't even know what it says on the front because I don't care. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. It says something like name, address, phone number, email. Would you book a party? Would you be interested in knowing more about the business? Would you be interested? Blah, blah, blah. All I want is their name, address, and phone number. I don't care what they answer to those questions. I'm going to totally ignore it. So at the end of my party, I'm going to say, it's about time to wrap up. Oh, by the way, I just played Ask Me Questions About My Job. If you don't know about that, that'll be on our next training call next Thursday night. At the same time, I'm going to say, but we're at my favorite part of my party. And this is where we do Ask Me Questions. And I say, now, I love to give prizes away if you haven't figured that out. So I'm ready to give 2 more away. So what I want each of you to do is, and this is where I hand out their catalog, their order form, and their drawing slip and a pen. I say, what I want you to do is I want everybody to put your name, phone number, and email on the front of this form. And to be eligible, you have to at least give me your name, phone number, and email. And then later, if you'd like, you can fill out the rest. But I want you to turn it over and number your paper from 1 to 4. These are my 4 bonus questions, and they have to be answered to be eligible. Now, if you hear nothing else I say tonight, never, ever, 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 ever type or write these questions out where they can read them ahead of time. The power is them having to listen to you as you guide the types of answers you're looking for. Okay, otherwise you're going to get those answers that are useless. So, write these questions down. Question number 1. What did you enjoy most about tonight's party? And then feed them the types of answers you're looking for. Hanging out with the girls, going to someone else's clean house, drinking martinis, getting away from the kids, tasting chocolate that you never imagined you'd ever have in your life. These are the things you want to know. This is what might get them to have another party. So feed them the answers that you're looking, the types of answers you're looking for. Okay? So what did you enjoy most about the party today, tonight, this morning, whenever it was? Number 2, what product or products would you like to try or get for free? And remember how Jen did a wish list? That's a great thing. You'd say maybe there's more on your list than you can afford tonight, so share those with me. Or maybe you saw something in the catalog that you're just dying to try, like the Meyer lemon cake mix or the I'm drawing a total blank, the red velvet pancakes or the margarita mix, you know, just feed them some answers so they know what you're looking for. Number 3, what did you hear tonight that appealed to you the most about my job? Was it the flexibility? Was it, you know, making $50 to $100 to $150 an hour at a party? Was it being your own boss because you're the best boss you could ever have? Was it taking free trips? Was it, you know, working when you want to work? Was it getting product at a discount? What did you hear? And you can write down as many things as you'd like. And just let them write until you see all the heads come up. Because these are, the more they write, the better the chance you have on recruiting them. And then my favorite question of all, and this is really important that you use name badges, because everybody's not going to know everybody, hopefully. You don't want them to. Who in this room do you think would make the best chocolatier? And there's 2 rules to this question. Number 1, you can't pick me. However, I hope you did think I did a pretty darn good job. And number 2, you can pick yourself. So just, if you want to pick yourself, just write the word me as the answer to question number 4. Otherwise, pay someone a really nice compliment in this room and tell them you think they would be the best. So now, yes?
What was 3 again?
3 is, what did you hear about my job that appealed to you the most?
Okay.
So your first 2 questions are going to help you when you go to your full service checkout. Your first 2 questions are actually your last 2 questions. That what we talk about a full service checkout, what you want to do is I actually like to have physical things that remind me what to say. So the first thing that I have is my little recruiting packet. And I usually have a picture of the kit, the Quick Start program, and maybe something that's going on that month or the recruiting brochure, but I do like at least the picture of the kit, the recruiting brochure. And if any of you have Pier 1 near you, I don't know if I have any, but yeah, here they are. I love these. And this is just the kind of fluffy girl and Lori. I go to Pier 1 and I buy these little things. And they're coasters, and it says Wyland at Happy to an Hour. And I put a little hole in it, and I put a little curling ribbon, and it makes people smile. So, and this, because I believe chocolate you never limit to an hour with chocolate, right? So my recruiting packs, I just put a little hole through here, some curling ribbon, and I tie the recruiting brochure, the kit flyer, and the Quick Start flyer, and maybe one other little flyer to this. And so I have a stack of these here. Now my goal is to identify at least 3 people at every party that I want to work with. Not that they necessarily said they were interested that I want to work with. So I have 5 of these because I always think big. The next thing is I have a little saying that you're not through till you've booked 2. If you want more, you got to book 4. So I always have at least 4 host packs with me. Amy, do you like my corny sayings? I see you down there laughing. I have plenty more where that came from also. And then the last thing that you want to do is if they don't say yes to wanting more information, they don't book a party, then I want to get referrals. I want to learn who can I call. And so I have a stack of 3x5 cards where they can share referrals with me. And I always have a little gift. So for example, I like easy, so I might use the pretzels or the graham crackers because they're already wrapped. And I might say, if you give me the name of 3 people and you're willing to call them and let them know that you recommended them to hear more about chocolate, I'm going to send home this great dark chocolate covered graham cracker with you. And if one of them joins the business or hosts a party, I'm going to give you the whole box absolutely free.
Wow.
To me, that's way cheaper than a vendor event.
Wow.
Right? It's 1 graham cracker if I don't get anything, and it's only a box. Or you could get like little cute organza bags for those of you that are crafty, or the little business card size plastic bags. Business card, 3 cinnamon dusted almonds. You buy them the 8-ounce box. You know, I like to take something I normally don't sample because then they're curious to what that tastes like, so they're more likely to give me referrals. So I have 3 piles here. So when Gina comes and sits down to do her order, I start talking to Gina, and I am really obvious. I flip through my drawing slips. I've got them right there in front of me. I flip through them. I find Gina's. I turn it over upside down. And I'm not even trying to be inconspicuous. I say, Gina, I see here that you love the flexibility and you think you could be a better boss than any boss you've ever had. Oh, I know I could. My boss drives me crazy, Laurie. Well, you know what, Gina? I think you could be a great boss also. And I would love to set up a time, if you can stay after tonight, visit with you a little bit why you shouldn't limit your happiness to just an hour. And let me show you how you can have tons and tons of hours of happiness with Dove chocolate. Now, if she is just a no, then I'd say, well, you know what, Gina, I also see here that you had a lot of fun tonight. Now, I am reading, ladies. I don't think we have any gentlemen on here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm reading. I see here that you really like to drink martinis with your friends and go to someone else's clean house. I mean, you don't even have to, because what you're saying is, I cared enough to look what you truly want. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So since you had so much fun drinking martinis and getting out of the house, why don't you wouldn't want to, like, keep that away from your friends and be so selfish that you wouldn't let them have a night out. And by the way, we'll do that Meyer lemon cake at your party so you can taste that, because I know you're dying to. So see how that leads right into that booking? And worst case scenario is she says no, and we can talk another time. I'm almost out of time about overcoming objections. But then the last thing I would say is, well, you know what? I know there's going to be a time where in your life that, you know, either you're going to want to get free product, or maybe there comes a time in your life where you need a little extra money or a reason to get out of the house. But in the meantime, why don't you treat your friends to some happiness and fun and share their names with me so that I can share our product? I'll give you this fabulous dark chocolate covered graham cracker. It's like your own personal 100 calorie pack, but better than anyone you've ever tasted. And if you'll just let them know I'm calling them when one of them books a party, I'm sure you'd want to come, or decides to sell, I'll give you the whole box absolutely free. Do you want to just jot down a few people's names and numbers for me? That is what we call the full service checkout. And the reason I like it is because if I put my hand on the first pack and start talking about recruiting, they know I'm not going to stop till I get to the end. So it's kind of like an ending power statement. You're showing them, or another great way to start that conversation as you're doing your order is, you might say something like, Megan, while we're doing your order here, I want to share with you the best 3 ways I always service my customers. Do you mind if I share with you the best 3 ways I can service you? Who's going to say no to that? Everyone wants to know how they can be, best ways they can be serviced. And once they give you permission, they're going to listen more. So I did it. Are y'all excited? I did it. So the whole thing in 1 hour. Now I'm going to give you guys a call to action. This is part of, many of you've probably heard about Promote with Passion. It is a training series. This is a majority of what's in chapter 1 of Promote with Passion. And as we go through, I'm not going to actually be offering that series right now because of my travel schedule. But each week that you come to these training classes that I'll get out to you according to my training schedule, I want to commit to you that you're going to get the meat of Promote with Passion throughout that. And so when you go through it again, you'll really be into it. But today I'm going to challenge you to do 21 days to success. I'm sure every one of you have heard it takes 21 days to create a habit. And what I want to challenge, this is your call to action. How many of you want to be successful? Let me ask you this. If you wanted to be a successful golfer and you went to Tiger Woods' coach and he said, every morning to be a successful golfer, the first thing you need to do is get out of bed and stand on your head for 10 minutes before you go to the driving range, because that's what Tiger does. How many of you would stand on your head for 10 minutes if you thought you could make the money that Tiger Woods makes? Not right now, like he used to make. He's not doing so good right now. Would you do it? Yeah. I'm going to tell you, if you want to be successful, I've done this. I made a lot of money in this business. So if you really want to be successful for the next 21 days, I want you to talk to 3 people about having a party with you or recruiting. Not in an email, not in a Facebook message, not leaving a message on their answering machine, a back and forth automatic dialogue. I will say in today's world, many of you, back and forth dialogue does include text, because that you can truly, but if they don't respond immediately, that doesn't count, okay? It's got to be a back and forth dialogue. And I want you to get excited about what you have to offer every day for 21 days. If you miss a day, you got to start back from 1. And I want you to let me know when you get through that. And I tell you what, if anyone does 21 days to success, I'm about to step out on a big limb, okay? And you can prove to me you did 21 days to success, and your business is not in a better place, you don't have more parties, or you have more people to talk to, or you don't have more recruits, I will take out my personal checkbook and I will write you a check for $100. Never offered that before. But that is how much I am 100% convinced that if you do this, it will work. Now, you can't just tell me I did it. You got to tell me. You got to tell me who you talked to, what you did. But I'm telling you, I won't be writing any checks. Not worried about it at all. Because I know if you do it, your business will be in a better place. You can ask enough people the wrong way and grow a bigger business if you just ask enough people. Right? Mm-hmm. So, it is 9 o'clock on the nose. Literally on my clock, 10 o'clock for those of you on the East Coast. Real quick, I'm sure some of you feel free to sign off, but if anybody has any questions, I will keep the Zoom open for a few minutes to answer any questions or to hear any feedback of what you liked, because I love getting feedback. It tells me what to focus on the next time I do something. The favorite things that you liked about this, or the things that you feel will help you the most, or any questions you have.
Yeah. What was in the recruiting pack again? You said you put the little recruiting brochure and the little happy thing.
And if you don't have the recruiting brochure, honestly, I don't even go through it. The most important thing I have is the quick start, a picture of the kit, because they always want to know what they're going to get.
The kit, okay.
And I usually put maybe one other flyer. If we have a trip, I put the trip flyer. In January, I put the flyer that showed the Amazon card and the free products. I want them to get a feel that there's always something for them. This month, I would put the supplement kit flyer. So they can see there's always, it's not just the money that they make. They'll support their business through Quick Start, but it's also the fun added extras that come along with it.
Chocolatiers kit, okay. And the Quick Start, you put the Quick Start brochure in there too.
It's that flyer, yeah.
The flyer, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will say, this is just a little branding tip. I know it costs more, but color is more effective. And if you put them in plastic sleeves, you can always, if you're talking to someone that's not really interested, you can just flip through and show them and keep it for yourself and have extras behind it if they specifically ask for something. So to save yourself some money, or you can have it in plastic sleeves in color and then have black and white to hand them to save some money. But just use plastic sleeves. And you only have to make one of those cute little things up. Or you could have the little coaster as their gift for visiting with you.
Okay.
I'm really into saving money, by the way. So I use plastic sleeves a lot.
Cool. Love them. They look professional anyway.
They do, and they never get like dog-eared or, crinkled pages or coffee spills. You just wipe it off. It doesn't matter.
Right. Cool.
Any other questions, or anybody else share their favorite thing they learned?
What was it? What did you say?
Oh, y'all are making me scared you didn't learn anything.
I did.
Okay, good. Amy?
I really actually liked the 4 questions that you brought up at the end of the party. I think it's a really great, like I've told you before, I'm not so great in front of people that I know or like have some sort of connection to. I'm much better in front of strangers because I feel like I can, I'm the only one that knows that I'm wrong when it's in front of strangers. You know what I mean? So I think those 4 questions are really a great way to get them even more engaged and really get a good feel for where they are with wanting to either do a party or be a recruiter or even just be more interested in the product. So that was really great. I enjoyed that a lot.
Good, and you can use those later because they've given you enough information that you don't even have to remember who they are.
Right.
You put whoever's party's on it, and just when you call them back, they'll think you remembered everything about them.
Exactly.
Oh, I remembered you said you loved the flexibility and you thought you could be your best, but they're going to think, how did she remember that? Well, I'm reading it off your card, but they don't know that. But
Right.
call them back, 3 months later when you're just digging for leads and you've got great information and it's their information, not your guesses. Glad you heard that, Amy. Great.
I enjoyed just learning how you hold your meetings. I've watched the videotapes, but your description was much better than anything that I have seen.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you, Kathy. I honestly absolutely love doing this and love doing parties. And if you can fall in love with parties, it really is fun. And there's nothing better than coming home with a $1,000 party with $250 in your back pocket after an hour and a half of drinking martinis and eating chocolate. There's just not much better in life.
I really like the name tag thing when putting the information from the cards on the name tag. I would have never thought to do that. That's cool.
Good. And just
Can you give me those 5 again?
they're
That's
on
awesome.
the connection. I actually have them. I laminated mine, so I have them on a ring, and so they always stay. Again, I'm cheap. Laminate them one time instead of running them 60 times. But the words that are on it, actually they're recruiting cards, and the first one actually says food. You find out about their friends, their occupation, their organization, and their dreams. It gives you what to talk about when you're starting to get to know someone. And then the cards on one side actually have the words support, money, time, fun, money, time, fun, support. I just drew a blank.
Can I share my screen for a second? And
Sure. Yeah.
if I know how to do this, share. Oh,
And on the back, Amy, when you print them off, it even gives you like how Dove supports and how it's fun. Oh, easy. It's simple. Simple is the other word. We
Perfect.
see you, but not your screen.
can you
Okay,
see
here
them?
we go.
Yep. Can you see them?
Hold them up a little higher. And a little higher? Yeah.
Oh, oh, all right. Now I see it. Okay, so that's the money.
And show them the back. So there you have, how easy it is to make money and how you make money.
Okay. Got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Diane. That was awesome.
Okay, first time.
Any other questions or something you learned that you liked?
Yeah, Lori, how do you said you do a prize at the end when they fill out the questions. So do you collect all those then and draw for a prize? Because I usually just have them bring those questions to me when they check out.
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up, Jen. So what I do is, remember I have them turn it over, number it from 1 to 4. I've had them put their name, their address, and the phone number on the back. I give them 1 minute to fill out the rest of the front because it's like checking stuff, right? And then I say, I'm going to come around and take up your drawing slips because I have a little surprise for you, and I need everybody's. So I go in the other room or wherever I'm doing orders, and I really don't care who wins the drawing part, but what I do is I see who gets the most votes. That's the most important question. And then I'll walk back in the room and I'll go, oh my gosh, okay, this is me. Of course, y'all don't have to say these words. I'll go, oh my gosh, y'all didn't know this, but Price Waterhouse was in the kitchen in there, and they were tallying the votes. And I want to let you guys know that you guys chose Rebecca to be the top chocolatier in the room. Oh my gosh, Rebecca, that's so great. And you know what, Rebecca? I know that everyone that voted for you would have a party to help you get started. So that is great. Isn't it great to be voted most likely to succeed or something like that? And I just play it all up, and boy, is her confidence being built, right? And then the ones that write me underneath, so let's say Barb walks in and under hers it says me. But number 4, I'm going to look at Barb and go, Barb, I am so glad you wrote me because I thought you would make the best chocolatier here also. I think you'd be fantastic. Let's get you started. Not, can we have a cocoa chat? You'll say, I need more information or can we talk? But assume she's ready to sign. So, and then I give her a prize, and then I do a real drawing. So, and usually I have 3. It's something really little. It might be, you know, a daiquiri pack or something like that. It's something really small, because I always, if I give one prize out, the host always gets it. Because I want everybody going, oh, she's getting that again? Well, you can too, Amy, when you have your party, you know. So the host might have 3 little prizes, a welcome prize, a matching door prize, and a booking prize, just because I gave out other prizes. So I want but I keep the cost really small. Sometimes, by the way, my favorite thing to do is my gift to my host, since my first product is usually martinis. As I'm handing out samples, I'll go to Dollar Tree and get a full-size martini glass. And while everybody else is getting an ounce, my host gets a full-size martini.
Yeah, I do that too.
And it sounds silly, but everybody's like, oh, I want one. And you can say, well, it's your party, you're going to get one. No worries, you know. And then she has her glass. It costs $1.
Okay.
So if y'all need cheap ideas, just ask me. They'll look really good. I promise they'll look good too. I am good. I can be thrifty, thrifty, thrifty.
Say hi, Laurie.
Any other questions?
Say hello. Hi, Laurie.
Well, I will, we're going to do this again next Thursday night. We're going to talk about similar format on recruiting. And this is recruiting at parties. There's so many of you that can teach recruiting way better than I could in many other venues, but I am a pretty good party recruiter. And so I'm going to share with you my tips and quote secrets to success in recruiting at the party. And I hope each of you will plan to join me. And let's challenge you to get a friend or a teammate that wasn't on tonight with you, okay?
Hey.
Good night, everybody.
Bye,
Laurie. Thank you.
Laurie.
Bye.
Thank you.